I have always loved a good baguette, crusty on the outside, light and yummy on the inside. And of course, the very best and freshest baguette is probably going to be the one that you make yourself. It's a bit more involved than making other type bread, so let's get into it. As you know, any basic bread has only 4 ingredients: flour, salt, yeast, and water. But since we're going to make an olive loaf version, we add a bit of olive oil, sliced olives, and chopped rosemary to the mix. For this recipe, you can use any type of standard flour, but I prefer using flour specifically labeled for making bread, or simply bread flour, because it has a slightly higher protein level, which impacts the texture of the bread. In addition, and this is purely optional, I add a small amount of whole wheat flour, which impacts color and taste. Start by mixing the warm water with the yeast and the honey. Stir it up a bit, and we're going to let it sit for about 10 minutes as the yeast begins to do its job. After 10 minutes, add the yeast mixture to the flour and add the salt. In addition, we're going to add the sliced olives, the olive oil, and the chopped fresh rosemary. Stir it with a large spoon or fork. You can use your hands if you want. I'm going to form it into a ball. If you find you need a little extra water, that's okay. You want to get it to about this consistency. I sprinkle it with a little flour. Wonder's handy to use. Soak a tea towel in very hot water, wring it out, and then put it over the bowl and let it sit for 30 to 40, well, let it sit for about an hour. That hot tea towel assists the dough in rising, and as you can see, it about doubled in size. Now we're going to do the first of a couple of stretch and fold routines. From the bottom, pick it up just to the point where you feel it starting to break apart, and then fold it back down on itself. Do this about 3 times, rotating the bowl each time. This is exercising the dough, as I like to consider it. And then cover it again with the tea towel and let it sit for 30 to 45 minutes. We're going to come back and do that a second time, wait 30 or 45 minutes, and then a third time. After the third stretch and fold routine, cover the bowl with plastic wrap tightly and put it into the refrigerator. We're going to let it stay there overnight, or from 12 to 24 hours. That cold environment will really help the dough ferment. Plus, it's going to enlarge a little bit more, as you'll see. Now it's ready to shape. Place the ball of dough on a floured surface and separate it into 4 equal pieces. Shape each of the 4 pieces into a rectangular shape. Think of a deck of cards. Doesn't have to be perfect. Cover it with a tea towel for about 30 to 45 minutes to rest. Then come back and we'll shape them. Stretch each one out a bit and then fold it over itself 3 times, as I'm doing here, pinching the seams as you go. You can twist it a little bit and then stretch it out to get a long cylindrical shape. And do that on all 4 of them, and then place them on a cookie sheet lined with a silicone mat or parchment paper. Sprinkle with a little flour. Then you want to score them. Use a razor blade or the sharpest knife you have in the kitchen. You'll find the dough is pretty gooey, so the sharpest implement you have is what you're looking for. One of the magics of creating a good baguette is to have steam in the oven. And here we've pre-boiled the water, put it into a pot that's already in the hot oven. And once the oven has come to the temperature we want, 450 degrees in this case, with the steam going, in it goes. And it's going to take about 20 to 25 minutes. I'll come back in about 18 minutes, take a peek. When they become a rich golden brown in color, they're done. You can pull them out at this point. I like to leave them in the oven after the oven's been turned off. Leave the door open 2 or 3 inches and let them slowly cool to room temperature. This way they'll stay warmer a lot longer. And there you have it. Congratulations, you're now an advanced baker.